You might already have some of the most expensive items in New World Aeternum and not even realize it. Believe it or not, a lot of these most expensive items are not even pieces of gear. It's more so the flashy pieces of furniture or music sheets or even just some transmogs that people will spend tens, if not hundreds of thousands of gold to get their hands on. In today's video, I'm going to be highlighting some of the most expensive items across all of New World Aeternum and how you can actually get your hands on them. So let's go ahead and jump into the first one. Believe it or not, the first three and arguably the most expensive items in the game are actually pieces of furniture. So in order to actually get a chance at getting these pieces of furniture, you're going to want to loot elite stockpiles and just overall stockpile chests throughout Ebonscale Reach. More specifically, I like going to the Imperial Shrine in the lower left corner of Ebonscale Reach, where you can just do a daily loop of these larger chests and cross your fingers that you get some luck. The first item I want to call out is the Goldfish in Porcelain Bowl. Believe it or not, I have seen people buy this item for over 1 million gold. Don't ask me why, but people love it. It's kind of a overall sign of wealth in this game, and it's extremely rare to actually get. I'm not sure the exact drop chance of actually getting this when looting these chests, but it's probably less than like 0.01% or something crazy like that. Speaking of that, the other item I want to call out is the Bonsai Centerpiece. One of these actually just recently sold for 700k on my server, which is once again insane. A lot of these hardcore New World players are sitting on tons and tons of gold, and just having one of these pieces of furniture is kind of a symbol saying, yeah, I'm one of the best players out there across the board. Don't ask me why people are going crazy over furniture, but they are, and these are the ones that you're after. The last item worth mentioning is the tea serving set. And although this one is not as expensive as the other two items, it's still pretty expensive. Just recently on my server, someone bought one of these for 275k. Again, it's a bit nuts on how much gold people are really dropping on certain pieces of furniture, but hey, they're doing it, so you might as well just reap the rewards, right? So again, if you're bored or just trying to do something as you wait for like an OPR or capture the flag queue, consider heading over to Ebonscale Reach, put on some luck gear, and just start looting some chests and crossing your fingers because hey, you never know, maybe you'll get lucky and actually pick up one of these three items, and then you'll be all set when it comes to gold. Next up, I want to talk a little bit about music, which once again, pretty unique in regards to why people actually want to spend a ton of money on this. But at the end of the day, a lot of people are just completionists. They want to complete everything in the game, and sometimes they want to collect every single piece of music. One piece I want to call out is the Canarios guitar sheet music, which can only be found at the Canary Mine. As of right now, these are going for around 40k each, and it's kind of surprising at how fast they actually get sold. Just to show you in the map, the Canary Mine is right here in Everfall, and you can just use this shrine right here, the Shadow Mine Shrine, and it's a short walk from there. At that point, you're just going to want to kill basically every single mob that has the word canary on it, and there's a very small chance that you'll get lucky and get a music sheet. On top of that, you'll want to loot any of the small chests that you see in this area, just for an additional chance of actually picking up this music sheet. I've done about 2 hours of grinding or so in this area before I gave up and did not find it, but it definitely is possible because I have seen a few people in this area get lucky with it. And there are a few other music pieces out there too, like the Soulwarden's Journey, and then just by jumping on the trading post in your specific server, you can just sort it by price and get a pretty good idea of some of the other music notes that are going for a pretty penny. Old Bones, for example, on my server, yeah, this one's going for like 15k or so. So again, there's definitely a market for these music sheets, which could be a bit surprising. And hey, if you're bored and just really want to make some gold, go ahead and teleport to this teleport shrine right here and head towards the Chasen Steep. The reason why you want to go to this area is because this is going to be the prime location to try and hunt for the Soulwarden's Journey music sheet that I just shared, which once again is basically pretty expensive and an easy source of gold if you think you're having some luck. So again, you're gonna just run to this area here and just explore a little bit. And you'll see that there's a handful of small chests in the area as well as mobs. Just go ahead and kill all these mobs you see and then loot these chests. These chests will kind of respawn over time. So if you just want to run some OPRs and stuff, go ahead and just queue up in this area and just farm all of these small chests in the meantime in between games. Because hey, maybe you'll get lucky in the meantime and you might as well be productive instead of just sitting there and just waiting for your queue to pop. So again, good luck out there if you guys are trying to farm for these. They are not easy to get, which is honestly exactly why there's an expensive price tag associated with them. Next up, I want to talk about the Gorgon raid. So this one is going to be difficult depending on if you're in a company or not and your level of experience in the game. This is arguably one of the most difficult PvE pieces of content in the game, and by completing the raid itself, you're going to get a handful of rewards, including a small chance of getting a Gorgon schematic. These schematics are going for tens of thousands of gold, sometimes more than that depending on which one you actually get, as well as you always get a handful of items just for personal use. Those are bind and equip, and also some Gorgon eyes, which also go for a pretty penny. If we actually jump over into the trading post, we can take a closer look at what these prices actually are, at least on my server today. I'm going to go ahead and just search for a random Gorgon schematic. Let me just scroll here. Yeah, these Gorgonite ones are the ones that you can get from the raid. I'll back out, filter by price, and yeah, as you can see, of course, it's going to be a little bit cheaper than that, but like the Gorgonite bow, I see one for like 100k there. The Gorgonite spears, all of the weapon ones are the newly introduced ones too, so they're likely going to be a little bit more expensive than some of the other ones out there. But regardless, if you get your hands on one of these schematics from completing the Gorgon raid, then chances are high that you can make a decent amount of gold just by flipping it directly on the trading post. The other thing is that regardless, there's a guaranteed chance that the first time you complete this, you're going to get a handful of these Gorgon's eyes, which is basically a required material to craft these Gorgon pieces of gear and weapons. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'll actually sell some myself. These things always sell like hotcakes too. Everyone needs them because a lot of people are constantly crafting these Gorgon pieces of equipment. They're going for about 2.2k or so on my server right now. I'll just go ahead and sell like 5 of them. And I mean, right there, that's an easy 10,000 gold or so, give or take. So again, definitely another great alternative to make some quick gold after some rare items. This last piece I wanted to call out is the fact that true endgame in New World for some of us is basically Transmog. If you go on New World database and just type in glass, you're going to see all of the glass-based weapons that have a unique kind of see-through transmog. And these items are going for a ton of gold. Again, a lot of these endgame hardcore New World players simply want to look good, and that includes getting like a glass-based transmog for their primary weapons. So each of these have different ways to actually farm them, but if you're really feeling lucky or you want the transmog for yourself, consider jumping onto New World database and getting the info. Just to kind of give you a sneak peek at how much these are going for, I'm going to go over to the trading post and I'll go ahead and take a quick look at some of these, like the Frostbite Glass Sword. That's going for 250k right now. At least these 2 items are. So again, a pretty penny if you get your hands on that. Additionally, how about we look at the Cold Bore? That's the glass musket. Right now, there's one listed for 90k. Tons and tons of gold and very, very sought after. And that really covers it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm a huge fan of New World and making fun, random videos like this. If you enjoyed it, consider giving it a like and subscribe because I have a ton of more New World Aeternum content coming very, very soon. Thanks again, and I'll catch you guys later.